Welcome back to Dinar community channel. They called it a scam. They laughed at the believers. But now, with global banks on high alert, digital rate screens flashing, and insiders leaking shocking intel, one question echoes louder than ever. Is the Iraqi dinar about to unleash the greatest financial miracle of our time, or will it trigger a total currency collapse? The truth is coming fast, and it's nothing like you've been told. In the ever-churning world of currency speculation, few topics have generated as much debate, emotion, and controversy as the future of the Iraqi dinar IQD. Over the past 2 decades, this currency, once reduced to a symbol of economic despair, has become the center of a financial tug-of-war. On one side are the hopeful believers envisioning a miraculous revaluation (RV) that could catapult holders of the IQD into overnight wealth. On the other side are the skeptics, analysts, and detractors who warn of inflated expectations and dangerous traps. The question remains, are we approaching an IQD Armageddon, or are we on the verge of witnessing a global financial miracle? To understand where we are heading, we must first understand where we've been. The story of the Iraqi dinar is not just one of numbers and exchange rates, it is intertwined with decades of political turmoil, wars, foreign intervention, and economic restructuring. After the fall of Saddam Hussein in 2003, Iraq's central banking system underwent a transformation, introducing the new Iraqi dinar, with hopes of economic stabilization. But while the physical notes changed, the deeper financial system did not immediately follow. Inflation, corruption, and inconsistent governance kept the dinar pegged at undervalued rates. Despite this, whispers of a future revaluation began to circulate. What if Iraq, rich in natural resources and strategic global alliances, regained its footing and recalibrated its currency to reflect its true economic value? Could those holding IQD notes suddenly see their investments multiply exponentially? The concept isn't far-fetched. Currency revaluations have happened before. Take, for instance, the Kuwaiti dinar, which rebounded impressively after Iraq's invasion in the early 1990s. Or the German mark after World War II, which saw a massive restructuring to restore economic order. But in Iraq's case, the timing and complexity are different. This is not a nation rising from defeat, it's a country trying to claw its way out of decades of instability, both internally and externally influenced. Over the last few years, there have been undeniable signs of progress. Iraq's banking sector has quietly been modernizing. Central bank officials have engaged with international monetary bodies like the IMF and World Bank, adopting frameworks aligned with global best practices. Technologies enabling cross-border settlements and digital finance are being explored. More importantly, key legislative reforms aimed at cracking down on corruption, improving revenue collection, and facilitating international trade have been passed. Yet despite these signs, an equal number of warning lights flash red. Oil dependency remains dangerously high. Political factions, tribal power struggles, and the ever-looming influence of foreign powers keep stability at arm's length. Inflation, while tamed on paper, hides beneath layers of black market trading, manipulation, and import inefficiencies. The central bank has been forced multiple times to defend its peg while simultaneously grappling with dollar shortages and external pressure. So, which direction are we truly heading? Let's examine the miracle case first. If Iraq successfully implements its economic reforms, continues to attract foreign investment, and establishes long-term political stability, then a revaluation of the dinar is not just possible, it may become inevitable. Imagine Iraq rejoining the global financial system not just as an oil exporter, but as a digitally integrated, globally connected market. Under such a scenario, restoring the dinar to a value that reflects its real economic potential, be it $1, $3.50, or higher, would not only reward early investors, it would signal a new era of sovereignty and financial independence. Some analysts have noted that Iraq's current foreign reserves, combined with its oil-backed budget and monetary controls, make it feasible for the central bank to support a higher-valued dinar, provided they manage the transition smoothly. This would require a carefully choreographed rollout, managed float strategies, FX window control, contract rate offerings to partner nations, and perhaps structured redemption programs for dinar holders. There have been growing rumors about in-country revaluations for Iraqi citizens, followed by staggered phases for international holders. Additionally, reports of certain multinational banks preparing for IQD redemptions, secret rate screens, and specialized exchange protocols have fueled speculation further. If even part of these reports prove true, then the potential for a miracle is closer than many realize. But with every dream comes the specter of a nightmare, and that's where the Armageddon theory takes hold. Many financial observers warn that betting on a large-scale Dinar RV is akin to gambling in a minefield. Iraq's ongoing vulnerabilities, like Iranian influence, lack of full WTO accession, unstable banking compliance, and volatile oil revenues, paint a more precarious picture. In this view, a forced or mismanaged RV could trigger economic chaos. Uncontrolled demand for dinars could collapse the financial infrastructure. Fraudulent exchanges, black market trades, and scams could spiral out of control. And ordinary citizens, both inside Iraq and abroad, could find themselves locked out of the process or saddled with worthless notes. Moreover, international regulators, especially in the US and Europe, are growing increasingly wary of unlicensed currency schemes and unregulated dealers. Legal crackdowns have already led to arrests and asset seizures. If a large segment of dinar holders finds themselves unable to verify their holdings, access structured exchanges, or meet AML KYC regulations, then the RV could turn from dream to disaster in an instant. Then there's the issue of timing. Some argue that the longer the RV is delayed, the more likely that governments or central banks will tighten the conditions under which currency exchanges can take place. We've already seen examples of narrowing FX windows, disappearing rate visibility on Forex platforms, and internal memos within major financial institutions hinting at sudden cutoffs. A missed opportunity, in this case, could become permanent. Yet others believe we're already past the point of no return, and what's coming next is not a choice between miracle and meltdown, but a carefully planned reset of the entire global financial order. They argue that the IQD is just one piece in a broader shift toward asset-backed currencies, digital finance integration, and de-dollarization. In that case, the IQD RV is neither miracle nor Armageddon, it's a domino in a larger transition. And those who've paid attention will be the first to benefit. Within this backdrop, dinar holders today face critical questions. Are they prepared for either outcome? Have they verified their currency's authenticity, stored it securely, and documented their purchase histories? Are they aware of potential tax implications, currency redemption restrictions, or foreign reporting requirements? Most importantly, do they have a post-RV plan? Because if a miracle does occur, it won't be the currency alone that changes a life, it will be how that new wealth is managed. Without a clear blueprint, windfall gains often vanish. Stories of lottery winners losing everything within years are common. Similarly, if IQD holders do experience sudden wealth, they must understand asset protection, generational wealth transfer, tax structures, and financial privacy. Trusts, LLCs, offshore banking, precious metals diversification, these will become terms of survival, not just strategy. On the other hand, those preparing only for the upside could be exposed to financial and emotional devastation if the RV fails to materialize. Responsible planning means accounting for the worst-case scenarios as well. That includes setting limits on speculative investment exposure, diversifying portfolios, and not placing one's entire future on the outcome of an uncertain event. So, what's really coming next? While no one has a crystal ball, certain indicators are worth watching closely. Iraq's central bank meetings, IMF reports, developments at the BIS Bank for International Settlements, oil contract changes, WTO activity, and regional political shifts all hold clues. One should also keep an eye on the behavior of commercial banks, especially those rumored to be preparing for IQD exchanges. If major institutions like JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, HSBC, and UBS begin openly offering exchange platforms or IQD-backed instruments, that's a strong sign the miracle may be underway. In conclusion, the truth may lie somewhere in between Armageddon and miracle. We are in a financial transition period where great risks and great opportunities coexist. The IQD, with its history, potential, and volatility, embodies that paradox. For every story of despair, there's a whisper of destiny. For every scam, a seed of strategy. And for every skeptic, a believer. What happens next may not be up to chance, but to preparation. Whether it ends in flames or fortune will depend less on headlines, and more on the quiet, strategic decisions being made now, before the curtain rises on what could be the biggest financial transformation of our time. Will the IQD spark an economic resurrection or descend into chaos? We may be closer to the answer than ever before. The real question is, will you be ready when it happens? Like and subscribe for more videos.